Hey, what's up, guys? Finally, a Charger win, the first one for Justin Herbert. I'm Zach.
Yeah, it's Kyle, and so excited to actually see
Yeah,
finally a win for Justin Herbert as well, but also for the Chargers since week one, and it's already week seven. We're already week seven in, so
are
we
we?
haven't
Wow.
we haven't had a win since 6 weeks ago against the Bengals back in week one.
Yeah, and this win feels a lot better than the first week. Like, we won by what, 10 points? It should have
Yes,
been more, honestly. Our kicker kind of missed, our kicker missed the extra point and a field goal, which does
yeah,
kind of bother me in the future. Or, I mean, it worries me.
it does 100%.
Like, I don't know if maybe if it's a league problem, but I've noticed like a lot of kickers missing in the last couple of years. But and it's funny. I wonder how Josh Lambo did. Do you remember how Josh Lambo did for the Jaguars? Did he even kick? Yeah, he did.
He did a few kicks, but I don't think he missed any kicks. I think he was able to clutch in because I think the Jacksonville Jaguars went for a lot of 2 point conversions, so they didn't really use him too.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
They were trying to get back into the game, but every time I think Lambo kicked an extra point because the extra point he or made a field goal, he made it in. But for Badgley, it's a little bit different. He actually missed an extra point and also a field goal today.
Yeah, that's kind of worrisome. But I'm glad he was able to sort of put the game away with that late field goal he did in the end of the fourth quarter. But but yeah, it was just, what it was. It started off. So the game started off pretty good, right? In the first quarter, Chargers got up a couple points by two scores, I think, and then the second quarter, we just kind of went cold.
Yeah.
The
So
Chargers offense was just off.
yeah, it was actually we were up 16-0, I think, at the time because I think just like any game I've seen before, what's difficult is that like you want to feel confident because they looked good both on offense and defense.
That first quarter, yeah.
They were putting Jacksonville into a lot of punting situations in the first quarter, and then they were actually getting some yardage down the field. I mean, we saw a lot of Herbert runs, we saw a lot of throws by Herbert, and even in the beginning, so they were up 16-0, and actually it could have been even more because he did miss one extra point, so it should have been 17-0 or 17 points within the second quarter.
Yeah. What do you call it? Did Badgley miss that field goal? When did he miss that field goal? Was that in the second quarter?
He missed the field goal in the first quarter, so
Oh,
when they got in, I believe they gave it to Reed. Reed actually got the touchdown. He got his first touchdown,
oh, that's why we are at 9.
and then we were at 9-0, and he missed the field goal, the extra point there, and then. But fortunately enough, our defense did well again, and we were able to get that touchdown 16-0.
Yeah, our defense stepped up. I guess having Ingram out there really helped, right?
Yeah, Ingram helped out a lot. I mean,
I think we
both
had Justin Jones out there too. I'm not sure if he did anything.
we had a lot of our defense definitely had a lot more pressure. I mean, for me personally, when I looked at the game, there was a lot more pressure than there has been the last few weeks because I know a lot of the toll was on Bosa, but knowing that we had Ingram on the other side, it actually helped out that we had because I know Minshew even went away from Bosa, but then what's unfortunate for him actually he went right into Ingram. Ingram was right there, and
Yeah. Well,
but
Ingram, the guys that got a sack, even Desmond King got a sack, Damian Square, Joey Bosa got half a sack.
yeah,
Nowasu got 1.5, so I guess he shared it with Bosa. Kaiser White, Isaac Rochelle.
they were doing their part. That defensive line did a great job of really putting the pressure on Minshew. They did a really great job in front. But I want to actually go back into the second quarter because that was a time where I was getting nervous personally because you didn't know what to expect from the Chargers because usually they would always start off quick as it has been the season, but then they end up falling a little bit. When you get
Yeah.
into the second quarter, they were up 16-0, and all of a sudden, what's it called, the Jaguars started getting on rhythm. They got a touchdown in the second quarter. Fortunately enough, they got a turnover on downs the second possession, but they went straight away right into a touchdown by the end of the second quarter. They could have been tied if they actually made that 2 point conversion. It would have been 16-16 at the half. But in the Chargers for me, like I was kind of like saying, oh, this doesn't seem great because when we think about the Chargers within like a certain quarter, especially during the fourth quarter, at times they have a tendency to be inconsistent,
Yeah.
and it's kind of worrisome because it's like, do they have that urge, the will to actually, fight back?
I'll tell you what, Justin Herbert showed that urge for
Yeah.
sure.
Once
You
they got
know,
to, I think third quarter, fourth quarter, 100%.
yeah, I didn't. He always surprises us throwing these long ass touchdowns, especially to Jalen Guyton. He
Yes.
seems to have a chemistry with him, just launching it to him.
To be honest, I think he has a lot of chemistry among. I think he's definitely getting into a lot of players right now. I mean, Keenan Allen, he's been hit a lot today, 100%. I think he was like
Yeah,
10 catches today, but I think he
yeah,
likes to spread the ball a lot. I mean, he hit Guyton today, he hit Green today. He definitely hit a few of his running backs. Parham was also involved as well too. So
that was so awesome to see Donald Parham score a touchdown. Just it's he's a 6'8" tight end, so it just makes sense on paper. Yeah, let's just throw to him. He's gonna get it. Kind of like some Mike Williams, how he
yeah.
jumps up and get it. But speaking of Mike Williams, he only had one catch today. I hope he's okay with that.
Um, I think during the Saints game and the game we did lose, I remember when Keenan Allen actually had to leave the game.
Right.
Maybe a lot of pressure was on Mike Williams to start making some plays, and he was kind of more of the reliable. I think Keenan Allen showed his part today that he was the reliable receiver, but knowing where Herbert's at, looks like he's definitely getting chemistry among his players to definitely spread the ball around, remain cool, calm, collected as we've seen before, but when I actually think about this game, I was really nervous in the second and third quarter. I mean, up 16-0, 14-0, all of a
Yeah, I was
sudden,
too.
when he got to the third quarter, they had a blocked punt. I mean,
Oh, dude, that was soul crushing, man.
I actually felt as though, like, oh, are we going to start seeing a trend now? Like, are we going to start seeing the Chargers kind of like die down now, like not have an urge to, like start getting wins because all they're doing now is just punt, block punt. So
Yeah, that was.
it was
Oh,
very hard to see that.
I was starting to make comments like, "All right, we should get a top 5 pick this year,"
Yeah.
but thankfully they kept on fighting.
100%. It was a block punt in the third quarter and then a missed field goal by the Chargers, and that's not what we wanted to see. Luckily, we got a turnover on downs on Jacksonville because they kept feeling confident on fourth down, but we showed them that we had something to fear on our line. As for the
Yeah,
touchdown, Herbert showed to me that he can step up to the plate. I mean, it was a little bit more challenging now. Back when he was playing somebody like Mahomes and the Chiefs, he was playing
yeah,
the Tom Brady and the Bucks, and also Drew Brees and the Saints. So for him to come out and actually do it against a pretty decent team, I think that for me, he could definitely do well because knowing where our schedule is at now, we've actually played all the harder teams. It makes me hopeful that he could actually make it clutch maybe for the upcoming schedule we have planned for us.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
um, it finally got to a point where, as Charger fans, we can be comfortable, kind of like at the 5 minute mark in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like that was the first time I think this season where I was like pretty comfortable once the field goal was made. And in the Chargers, the Justin Herbert pretty much carried the team on his back. And we also had guys step up. I saw obviously Keenan, Justin Jackson, and our defense was doing great.
To be honest, I was not comfortable even towards the end. I just wanted to make sure I was like, the clock has to hit zero. If it's still maybe once it was 10 points and it was like 2 minutes left, that made more sense because like, oh, they have to actually get a drive going, get points on the board, and then get another drive and get the onside kick. But yeah, for the